Now, when President Higgins was talking to us earlier this morning, he asked the question, can words be translated into actions? Can change really happen? Are we ever going to live in a world where children actually do grow up free from hunger? Where they not alone grow up free from hunger, but they grow up well nourished? Where climate change does just mean change and not disaster? Is that world actually possible? Mary Robinson spoke about 2050. I mean, is that all just pie in the sky? Are we all just dreaming? Well, maybe not. Because now you're going to meet two young men who believe it is possible that that world can be achieved, the real world, and it's going to happen in their own lifetimes. So I want you to sit back and enjoy a little bit of inspiration now, because we all need a bit of inspiration from time to time. This is their vision of how the world might look in 2050 and how we might all get there. So will you please welcome youth ambassadors Alex Nallo from Sierra Leone and Salah Hussein from Palestine. Please give them a very warm welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The voice you'll be listening to in the next minute is the voice of Alex Nallo Jr., 23 years old, World Vision International Youth Ambassador. Friends, I grew up in a small town in Sierra Leone called Bo, where my family struggled with issues of hunger and food insecurity. Like many other families, acquiring daily food was a major challenge, and children who are malnourished were and are still a common sight. I grew up challenging myself that if the situation has to change, then I must play a role. My motivation to start engaging in awareness raising and advocacy around household food security, prevention of malnutrition among children, and efforts to protect environment stem from the childhood experiences, as well as the desire to be part of the change that we must bring to bear on the lives of the future generation. Despite improvement in economic growth over the recent years, 26%, that's about 1.5 million Sierra Leoneans cannot afford adequate daily food intake to sustain healthy life. Over 1/3 of children deaths are due to malnutrition, resulting in 36% of children under the age of 5 being stunted. I am sharing this with you. And you have heard lots of global figures and statistics today to indicate to you the enormity of the challenge we have at hand and the urgency of the required action. If Sierra Leone and many other countries in Africa and Asia and other parts of the world are going to make significant progress towards the Millennium Development Goals, it requires redoubling of efforts and investment and a commitment that is driven by our conscience and responsibility of our world. I want to see my country and the world move from a theory-based approach of development to a practical human development approach which takes bold and courageous efforts in addressing hunger, nutrition, and climate justice. When I was a member and later president of the Children's Forum Network in Sierra Leone, I engaged myself in awareness raising on the challenges faced by children which affected their well-being, nourishment, health, and education. As a child leader in 2008, I mobilized children to take to the case of parents, civil society, and government for increased investment and accountability in food security in communities, improved nutrition programs for children, and environment protection. I became a youth ambassador when I was 18 in order to continue advocating for sound policies and programs that address fundamental challenges to this millennium: food security, climate change, and malnutrition. I believe that decision makers can work together to reduce emission, protect the environment, promote nutrition, and improve food security with the common goal of improving children's life. I'm here to appeal to you all that now, more than ever, we need a more collaborative approach, partnership among governments and institutions, amongst people of various backgrounds and cultures to step up to this new challenge. More awareness, sensitization, education should be directed at young children and the youth who will grow up with the responsibility of changing their homes, their country, and the world at large as we move forward for Vision 2015. I am passionate about these issues because we will inherit the challenges of hunger, malnutrition, climate change, and its consequences. The post-2015 development agenda needs to respond to our own needs, dreams, and aspirations in making our communities and the world a better place. You need to actively listen to my voice and the many voices of the young people as well as who will be parents, decision makers, and leaders of not only tomorrow, but who are leading now in the bid to safeguard many children and young people whose lives have been negatively impacted by the issues we are talking about here today. 2015 shall not be our limit. As I thank the organizers for making my voice to be heard today, which I believe is a voice that echoes the voices of the many young people around the world, Africa and beyond. I am willing, and as a leader, you are already here today because you are part of the coalition of the willing. And with you, we can move forward for a better world that is hunger-free, well-nourished, and climate just. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all.
Hunger-free, well-nourished, climate just. That's something we can all dream about. Let's hear the dream now of Salah Hussein, World Vision Youth Ambassador from Palestine.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. My name is Salah Hussein. I'm from Zeta, a small village near Nablus city. I'm 20 years old. I would like to thank you for your invitation to be here in Dublin in Conference of Hunger, Nutrition and Climate Justice. I'm from Zeta, a small village near Nablus, famous of olives. Zeta depends on multiple sources of income. The most important of these is agriculture, where people in my village cultivate crops, olives, and vegetables. In Zeta, we are facing climatic change, such as a highly variable rainfall, as well as heavy storm, cold winter, and high temperature in the summer. Up to 5 years ago, winter and summer were predictable. Now, the weather has changed a lot, with a hot and cold day possible in 1 week. These changes affect our crops in positive and negative way. We are now growing some crops and trees in Palestine that we couldn't grow before. But on the other hand, a high temperature when all of the trees are in flower destroy the crop. Palestine is an agriculture country, providing much of the food needed to feed population. But there is a high rate of hunger, especially in Gaza Strip and West Bank. There are several reasons for this, including the impact of climatic change and the fact that our farmers prevented to reach their land to cultivate their crops because of the occupation, settlement, and declaration of military zones. The blockaging in the Gaza Strip is increasing the rate of hunger, as well as reducing the space for fishing in the sea. It's also increasing the price of food and other products, which is another reason why is the hunger in the country. I am driven to do what I can to help people in my country to have a better life. 1 year ago, I started to work with a local farmer cooperative in my village with the 3 of my friends. We helped the farmer to improve packaging and marketing their products so that they could earn more money and create new jobs for young people in the village. I also introducing the farmer to some of my invention. In Palestine, farmers living in the village like Zeta, often some distance from the village and the land that they are cultivate. So I help them to use sensors to alert them when animals get into their fields so that can go their land and chase them away before destroy the crops. I am an inventor of a lot of things, from automatic refrigerator door to sensor tell you when the power cut off and the food in your freezer has expired. I believe that being inventive and creative is very important so that young people are able to solve a problem, including the climatic change and hunger. I am an optimistic person, and I believe if we start solve the problem of hunger and the climate change now, it will be a good future. However, if we only think about what we have to do without a real action, it will be a pessimistic future for my generation and generation after me. I am an inventor, but even these skills, there is a limit what I will be able to do 13 years from now, if I'm living in a world affected by climate change. As a part of my work, I teach children how to be inventors and how to solve a problem. But if these children come to my class hungry, how they can learn, how they will be able to be inventors for tomorrow if their stomachs are empty. In Arabic we say, when food isn't present, the mind is absent. Young people have a new way of thinking in 21st century that is different from the old way. We use social media, we connected with a youth from other regions and country, and we share our problem and solution. Finally, I would like to say that young people always speak from the heart, and so it's important to hear them. And I would like to conclude by saying young people have a flame of creativity, but they need someone to light it. Thank you.